promises. You do you and I'll do me, that's just the way it is.
Boom.
Biddly bo. Yes, yo. Here we go. There ain't nobody down round here. We got us pot the tea. We're done on. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. We are on 5,106 subscribers, guys. We want to get to 6,000 before the start of the season. It's the new target. And if we get there before the start of the season, you all know I'm about to ask for 7. Now, I think 6 will be where I do call it quits and just see where the channel goes from there. But if we can get to 6,000 before, you'll be making a brother's dream. So shout out to each and every which one here. I'm very aware that the clock watchers are in and on and over here, so watching in. But the clout chaser is very much in the building. So here we go. Quick shit vid. I want to discuss, to be honest, trying to manage expectations in this transfer window and the fact that signings, I do believe, are going to come thick and fast when they do come in. And I don't think just because we're losing out on players that are allegedly been spoke about in the media. I don't class this as a media channel, as we all know. But there's 2 ways of going about this. We can pretend that the things that I'm reading I'm just reading the news articles, relaying them to you in some manner, and then seeing what comes back. I'm not necessarily talking about you guys, the expectations. But what I am saying is the fury it creates when we don't sign a player like Kelleher. And Leeds United fans, or a large portion, or certainly a loud portion of people, can't understand why Kelleher doesn't want to come to Leeds United. Kelleher has been the second best goalkeeper in the world for a very long time now, and is the second goalkeeper for Liverpool. Brentford are, unfortunately for us, extremely established Premier League side right now, a Premier League side that we currently are not. Do I think in the next 5 to 6 years we can eclipse what Brighton have done? Yes, I do. Do I think it's achievable? Yes, I think it is. Do I think we'll do it? Yes, I do think we will. Do I think we'll be in the Premier League for longer than Brentford and achieve more than Brentford ever will? Yes, I do. Do I think it's going to be really difficult? Yes, I do. Do I understand why Kelleher has chose Brentford over Leeds United right now? Yes, I do. Kelleher is the second best goalkeeper in the world. He's gone to Brentford. If he was actually the second best goalkeeper in the world, he'd have gone to a top tier club, wouldn't he? He's just, out of every single offer he got given, he will have gone through the table and gone, Brentford finished highest. I'm going there. It's a well-run club. Nick Pope would be an excellent signing, in my opinion. I can fully understand why Nick Pope, right this second, wants to stay and fight for his position at Newcastle United. I don't think it's the 49ers not being aggressive in the window. It doesn't mean that because the rumours there that the 49ers are even approaching these players. It's all woof. We all know, and most rational people in the channel and the commenters say, the 49ers work in silence. If we know this, and we all know this, it is not the case where they're not being aggressive in the window. Can we just try and enjoy this process, please? We might have to wait out a little bit. Being aggressive doesn't necessarily mean that you're right either. So being angry about the fact that we've not been able to bring Kelleher in, when we don't even know if we've attempted to bring Kelleher in, or whether, Kelleher just expressed, you must, you guys play Champ Manager and FIFA and stuff, don't you? You must know when you go on Champ Manager and you're cheating, you've literally taken over the other club. You've taken over Liverpool and you've tried to upset Kelleher to no end. And he just doesn't want to join the club of Leeds United. He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. The club don't need to. The club have other options. Voldemort's been rambling on today about Ramsdale. Saying that he's been as bad as Mez. He's as bad as Mesley, silent S. Now, I don't even like the phrasing of that sentence for a start, saying he's as bad as Mez. Like, it matters. Like, well, it does matter to that extent. You don't want a poor keeper coming in. But I don't know why we're already comparing him to Mesley, silent S. Ramsdale would be a great signing. Here's what people such as Voldemort do, I believe. They create an agenda about players, that they know something about. So I know a fair deal about Ramsdale, so it's really easy for me to create an agenda. Either way, I could say yes to signing him or no to signing him. I think the honest way is just to do what you actually believe. And I think Ramsdale, although he's been relegated, was an excellent goalkeeper for Arsenal. He made a couple of mistakes. They replaced him with an excellent goalkeeper in Raya. there was actually a lot of Arsenal fans banging on about keeping hold of Ramsdale and why we're bringing a new keeper in. We don't need one. They actually quite liked him, to the point where the press was putting it on Arteta quite significantly. And Arteta had to say, we're actually going to rotate the keepers. And all the pundits said, this is silly. You can't rotate goalkeepers. You've got to have a number one. And granted, I think Arteta was just trying to squirm his way out of it. He ended up being right. Raya is a better goalkeeper than Ramsdale. Ramsdale went to Southampton to play football and was effective in that manner. He played plenty of football for Southampton. Unfortunately for Ramsdale and Southampton fans, the shit. So they've gone straight back down. That is not a reflection of Ramsdale. These same people that create the agenda saying, well, he's been relegated. Arsenal didn't want him. He's got loads of shit house under him. He's a bit of a shit house. Like, yeah, which most people like when you do. The idea is when you're against the shit house, you don't like the shit house. When the shit house is playing for you, you love him. The same person, Voldemort, would happily create a video saying, who can we steal from the bottom three? And then players like Ramsdale. So are some good enough to sign in just because you've been relegated? We signed Ampadu, who's got a terrible, terrible record. And nobody can tell me that Ampadu hasn't been an excellent signing and been brilliant for the club. And we're probably going to build our whole team around him next season, you know, with obviously some additions. But he's going to be the nucleus. He is the captain, the skipper of the club. Ramsdale would be an excellent signing. I also want to address the fact that we're allowed to look short and long term. So you can't tell me with a straight face that if we bring Ramsdale in, he doesn't solve the goalkeeper problem for 1 year. I think he solves it for a couple of years, potentially 3 years. But he doesn't solve the problem for 1 year. Ramsdale comes in and solves our goalkeeping problem for 1 year minimum, and then we see what we're doing with him, don't we? And then we can do an Arsenal. They're playing a totally different game, aren't they, Arsenal? They're in a totally different league to us. Even now we're in the Premier League. They are playing another game. They were happy to utilise Ramsdale for a couple of yees. That's exactly what they did. Newcastle signed Chris Wood for a purpose. Chris Wood went on to do brilliant things at Nottingham Forest. Try to think of other examples. Longstaff, my guy at Newcastle, they probably thought they'd move him on a lot quicker than they had to, but he ended up being really useful. Dan Burn at Newcastle ended up being really useful. Some of these players, some of them let you down, some of them surprise you, and some of them do exactly what you thought they would do. These people that are looking for these players do a hell of a lot of research. They bring these players in, and it's still a gamble. Now, what I'm saying with players like Ramsdale is it's no gamble. You know exactly what you're getting with Ramsdale. A Voldemorts of the world would say, well, yeah, you're getting a relegation. I don't think Ramsdale comes into this club. If we get some decent additions, I don't think he's make or break for us. I just think he'd be bang on, bang solid, top signing. That has to be the type of signing that's achievable. They've gone down. Who do we end up with if not? Because I don't want to go into Europe and not have a Scooby-Doo, because that's the alternative. And the alternative's fine if they get it right. But what happens is the video doesn't generate the same amount of clicks, does it? Because I've created an agenda about Ramsdale now that I know something of Ramsdale. I've created the agenda. If it's just some gadger in Germany called Alexander Wang, and he's apparently coming in, he just Googles him, just same as we all do. Or, you know, unless you're really watching him, like my man Lockie will watch football. That's all he does, watch different players, analyse his players. But if he doesn't know much about him, or if he's only seen odd bit of him, seen odd game of him, he won't really pass comment on him. He'll just go, oh, he's quite good. That gadget yesterday that I couldn't pronounce his name from yesterday, I flippantly said, oh, Lockie's keen on this guy, thinks it's a good sign. It's open for, just get excited about it. Enjoy the process of it a little bit. Sunderland, for instance, are looking likely that they're going to lose Bellingham, who I don't even particularly rate, to be honest, but there's no such news of ours, is there, being any players being pushed out. So I just think we're in a really strong position. We need to enjoy the process. If we don't bring anybody in until the next little window that opens, it's fine. The 49, we just have to believe, and believe you me, if they don't bring anybody in the coming weeks, I will start to get on the bandwagon as well. But for right now, when I told you yesterday, we signed Rodon on the 2nd of July and we signed Ampadu on the 19th of July. We've got plenty of time. We're nowhere near yet. We're just getting a little bit panicky. There's only really Man City and big clubs like that, Chelsea, that have made moves. You know, we're all right for now. Just let's enjoy this process. Decore, for instance, who's, you know, been linked with us, I think he'd be a decent signing. Is he going to rip it up? Is he going to play every week? Probably not. Would that be a decent signing? Yes. Apparently, he could be tempted by Saudi Arabia. So that's just where we're at with stuff. Decore, if I was Decore, I'd want to go play for Leeds United, but I don't want it to go play for Leeds United when, you know, I had a silver tooth and I was just a pup. Yep. So it's not. So what? Decore, I just think, well, yeah, probably be good at Ellen Road, but there's shitloads of money in Saudi Arabia for me. That's just shit is as shit does. What club he's going to go to in Saudi Arabia, he won't know either. Just chasing the money, his last paycheck. This is what we're up against. Not just money, sometimes not even status. In a Brentford case, I don't think they've got a bigger status club than us. But are they in a better position than us right now? Yes. Is Keller really bothered about playing for Leeds? No. Will he maybe get a bit of European football or a lot of praise at Brentford because they've got a decent defence? Yes. Is it a bit of a risk coming to Leeds United? Yes. It could be shit. I think Keller is a bit shit anyway, if I'm brutally honest. Random news. Carrick's been sacked by Middlesbrough. So Woodgate has also left his role. Don't know why I told you that, but I just thought due to the fact that Woodgate's not loosely associated with Leeds. He was obviously one of my favourite players when I was a kid. So overlap tomorrow, which will be a lot more fun than this one. I'm sorry if I've had a bit of a ramble there, a bit of a rant alert perhaps, but if something comes up, it must come out. I hope you're all well. Keep subscribing, keep liking. I'm off for that boat curry for real. Oh, I said Ashley, lad.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you, and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.